took the supermarket flowers from the windowsill, threw the day-old tea from the cup, packed up the photo album Matthew had made, memories of a life that's been loved. Took the get-well-soon cars and stuffed animals, poured the old ginger beer down the sink. Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down, but Mum, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I'm in pieces, it's tearing me up, but I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mum. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go, and when God takes you back, He'll say hallelujah, you're home.
Alright, if I had to pick one word that describes my mother, I would probably say stubborn. She was a feminist before her time. She felt that her opinion was very important and should be heard by everybody. And once she formed an opinion, it was very hard to convince her otherwise. What made Nana the most happy? Nana was most happy when she was with her family. She loved family gatherings. She loved coming to school events for both her children and her grandchildren. She loved family parties. Even from the time I was a very little kid, I remember doing family parties at my grandmother's house where the whole family would come together for Easter or July 4th, and we'd all sit around and the kids would play and everybody would talk and the adults would help cook food, and that was the times that she absolutely loved. That made her the most happy. What's my favorite memory of Nana? That's a really hard question because I have a lot of good memories. I think probably some of my best memories from childhood would be when I did dancing competitions, and she was always there with me backstage. So she always gave me a boost of confidence right before I went out on stage, and I loved having her there, even though as a little kid sometimes your mom can be a little bit of a pest. But I still enjoyed having her there. It made all the difference in the world. I remember on my wedding day, we were in the hotel room and I had just finished getting all ready and my friends had just put on my veil, and I walked into the room where she was and she couldn't even say anything. She was just speechless. She actually started to cry and she got so emotional that she had to leave the room. But that told me that she was really proud.
I fluffed the pillows, made the bed, stacked the chairs up, folded your nightgowns neatly in a case. John said he'd drive, then put his hand on my cheek and wiped a tear from the side of my face. And I hope that I see the world as you did, 'cause I know a life with love is a life that's been lived. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go, and when God takes you back, He'll say hallelujah, you're home.
So as I sit here doing some research in the 2019 way, I can't help but remember that my mother was Wikipedia long before Wikipedia existed. Anytime we had a school project, we'd come home, we'd talk to Mom about it, she'd list off people, places, things, times, facts, and before you know it, we'd have a complete outline for our research for the project. Now, mind you, she wouldn't do that project for you. You had to take that information and we had to go out and do all the research that was necessary to write our projects. And just like Wikipedia, we couldn't cite Jeanmarie in our footnotes. We had to go out to the library or the internet, do all of our research, find all of our citations, and do the entire project ourselves. Then we'd bring it back, she'd proofread it, provide more information, more research, and by the time we were finished, if you didn't get an A in that project, it was only because you turned it in late. Of course, this didn't stop after we got out of school. Anytime we had any questions about anything, the very first person we would call was Mom. She was extremely well read. There was never a time that I didn't see her with a book in her hand, from Stephen King to complete historical anthologies. She was a vast wealth of knowledge and almost always right. And on the rare occasion that she was wrong, she was still right, and you couldn't tell her otherwise. This is what I remember most about my mother. She was the one that we could turn to for information, conversation, and yes, very spirited debates. We're really going to miss you, Mom.
Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. Then time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. All you still more. I need your love. I need your love. God, speed your love to me. Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Yeah. Lonely riverside, wait for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home, wait for me. Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch. Oh, long time.
being around people made my Nana the most happy. Being with people that she loved. Going on travels and adventures with her husband and my grandpa. Being around family, hosting people. She was as social as she ever could be, and far more social than I ever will be able to be. She was an incredible smile and laugh. That's what made her the most happy. People.
My Nana was stubborn and tenacious and graceful all at the same time. She knew what she wanted and she would get it, but always did it with grace. She's just very powerful, smart woman.
That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Someone been born. Ooh, unforgettable, unforgettable in every way, in every way, and forevermore, and forevermore. That's how you'll stay. That's how you'll stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.